And good morning. That sound never gets old, whether I'm hearing it on the internet, thanks to Gerald Glassford and the Magic Man in the Morning theme song, or if I'm making it myself, bacon and eggs just is always right, no matter what time of day. Good morning, Gerald.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Did an all-nighter working on the Cosmos, put that latest episode out, took the kids to school, and get in the car and oil change before I head out for the day. I do want to make everyone aware that on Friday, Saturday here in the Vegas, for a little bit here and there, I will be at the Mint Collective at the MGM Grand Hotel and the Casino in their convention center area. I will be there. So if you see me wearing Lakers gear like I am right now with the 2020 Finals champions right there and the hat right here, if you see me out and about on the show floor, talking with the various vendors, go ahead, come up, say hi. Say if you appreciate the show or tell me how much you hate Joe Sorrell. Doesn't matter to me. Yep, just be good to hear from you.
Yeah, well, there's our audience has a love-hate relationship with Joe. We love Joe. That's why he
Yes,
makes
we
the
do, but
show.
don't tell him you said that. Don't tell me. Don't feed his ego. Don't feed the ego.
Well, Gerald, it's a huge game tonight. It's a huge game with a lot of implications. So the last we spoke, the Lakers defeated the Chicago Bulls and found themselves as the 8th seed in the West. 48 hours later, the Lakers find themselves in ninth place now, and the New Orleans Pelicans have vaulted all the way from ninth to seventh with a huge victory last night over the Denver Nuggets,
Yeah.
107-88. So now the Lakers find themselves looking above the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New Orleans Pelicans. So, Gerald, how huge is this game tonight?
Well, it's very big for both Minnesota and for the Lakers because you've got both teams trying to fight for what the seventh, eighth, ninth positions right now, and the Lakers are in ninth right now. But a win by them, a loss by Minnesota, and a loss by New Orleans puts them into the seventh position, and with a possibility again. I don't want to go into Joe details, but if we follow the Joe Sorrell plan and actually win out, the Lakers have a viable chance to get into, I'd say about the fifth seed is their high. That's the ceiling. I don't think people should think about a fourth at this point. I think that loss Sunday against Chicago pretty much did that in, but they do have an opportunity to go ahead and win a few games if they win this one. If this one works out well for them, that's going to give them the kind of confidence they need to go ahead and be able to take a lot of these games, and in fact should be able to go ahead and win all those games if they can get by tonight and be able to take that spot at least seventh, sixth, possibly even fifth. I think they could start thinking about that seriously if they win tonight on the road at Minnesota, a team who has Cat back, who most likely will have Anthony Edwards in the lineup, who has Rudy Gobert in the lineup. They were supposed to have been a great regular season team. It's still kind of like on the fence on whether or not I think they're going to be a decent playoff team because, as we've seen before in the past with Rudy Gobert, you play five out, you can have a real issue as Utah, the Clippers played Utah off the court with Rudy Gobert not being able to go ahead and adjust, and now you've got two 7-footers running around after guards and small forwards playing in a 5-out system in the playoffs. That's what I do. But right now you got the Lakers coming in there with AD and LeBron, so it may be an easier matchup in their minds for them. But if the transition's going and And also, D'Angelo is motivated enough that she should be coming back to Minnesota. We could see a challenge from the Lakers tonight.
Yeah, we sure could. Yes, Gerald, as you said, Anthony Edwards, Carl Anthony Towns are all probable tonight, as well as Kyle Anderson. Minnesota was without a few of their role players when they lost 107-100 to Phoenix on Wednesday, so we're not sure about the availability of guys like.
Oh, they'll be fine. They'll all be fine for
But
the Lakers. They
yeah,
always are.
of course they are. Yet somehow the training staff, with a mix of nutrition and whoa, the Lakers, and suddenly the pupils dilate and you're feeling 100%.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely. Always seems to work out
so
like that.
so this game is huge, Gerald, because if the Lakers are able to win because of a tiebreaker that they have with the New Orleans Pelicans, surprisingly, they would find themselves in seventh seed at the end of the night.
Well, they actually, and then also because they'd all be tied,
They'll be
all
tied.
New Orleans, Minnesota, and the Lakers would own the tiebreaker over each of those two teams. That's the case. So you see the importance of tonight's game. The thing is, though, we don't want to start talking about the weekend and beyond. I don't want to start talking about any letdowns or anything like that if they win tonight. We just got to get through tonight. I know you and I will be there at 5 o'clock on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break watching the game. I know you and Joe will probably, I'm going to ask Joe to go ahead and head off the post game tonight. So, because I probably will not be able to attend. If I am, I'm going to be a late arrival, but I will be there for playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. But yeah,
Wonderful.
just looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, my friend.
All right, Gerald. And as we segue into the Final Four preview, Gerald, and
Okay.
we'll look at the women's side first.
Okay.
I gotta say, Gerald, one of the most exciting players in all of basketball right now, and she's pretty much the talk of on everybody's tongue, is Caitlin Clark.
Yes, she
Um,
is.
just a fantastic player, um, very noticeable, and she's draft eligible in 2024. So I want to get your thoughts on whether or not you think that Caitlin Clark can impede the powerhouse that is Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks tonight.
Well, I think anything's possible, and I know that it's being hyped up as a great matchup. It's one of the great matchups in all of women's Final Four history. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing it, what the hype is all about, because I know Caitlin's gotten a lot of pub in recent weeks, and I know you said she's draft eligible in 2024. With the disparity in pay between the women's and the men's game, and as far as the WNBA to the NBA, I don't see her leaping at that chance. I think she might have an opportunity to make more in NIL money than what she does in WNBA money, but I don't know for sure. And then obviously shoe contracts and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens there. But she's a special player. She's a player that basically can transform the league. Possibly could be that next individual that bring the league, the WNBA, even to a higher stature than before. Because I know there's a lot of individuals that don't really have any thoughts on the WNBA, but she can change her mind because she's a really truly a special player.
100%, Gerald. I feel the same way. Her game is very. It's almost video arcade like. It's kind of like NBA, it's like glitch mode. That's kind of what I see out on the floor with her. Whether or not she has space or not, she's able to utilize what space she has. And Gerald, she is shooting over 45% from shots 25 feet and beyond. So we're talking about a player who's got NBA range on her shot already, and she hasn't even stepped foot in the professional ranks yet. So I really do think she has the potential to be a very special player and shine a brighter light on the WNBA. And in the other game, Gerald, we find that the Virginia the Virginia Tech Hokies are in a battle with forgive me, Gerald, I'm blanking here.
No worries, no worries. But what I think all the attention goes to Caitlin Clark. I think
Clark,
that's
yes.
yeah. I
Yes,
think
absolutely.
you got it square there.
Yeah. So when we look at the men's Final Four, Gerald, what are you anticipating? Do you see an all Florida finals with Florida Atlantic and the U, or do you see it as, UConn's just one of those blue blood programs now that it really doesn't matter if they're a 1 or 2 seed, they just find their way to eke out a Elite Eight Final Four appearance.
Well, UConn has been playing so tremendously here in the tournament, but the thing is, though, with the momentum always in the tournament, you can play well for a weekend. You got 4 to 5 days off, and that can totally kill your momentum as far as you having to change venues from one side of the country to another, and then you're taking a lot of time with practices and things of that nature. And also, the other team has a chance to scheme you a lot better and scheme you a lot more because they have 3 extra days to go ahead and do so. So things can change, but Connecticut right now looks to be the odds-on favorite here in Vegas because of the fact that I mean they've just been so dominating in the tournament so far. But I really think that Florida Atlantic, I think this is where the end is. Yeah, these Cinderella teams rarely do they get any farther than the semifinal game. So maybe that will change, but yeah, I think that I don't know. I mean, Gonzaga is also there looming on the horizon. I think that if there's any year that Gonzaga is going to get it, even though this isn't their strongest team by any stretch, with so many eliminations, this could be year. This could be the year for the Zags. This could be the year for the Zags.
It could, and I like to make a correction. I did not mean to disrespect the job that Kim Mulkey has done at LSU this year. They're
Yeah,
the other Final Four competitive. So Gerald, moving on again, as we find ourselves looking down the last week of the season, a lot of things are still up in the air. We thought that the Denver Nuggets would be securely in the number 1 seed. They've slipped the past 5 weeks,
yeah.
and Memphis is just quietly only 3 games out. Now I realize there's only about 6 or 7 games left, so they may feel pretty safe, but their schedule is not easy, Gerald. They have a Pacific heavy schedule the rest of the way. They play Phoenix twice, they play Golden State and Sacramento as well. So it's not as if they have an easy 6 games remaining. So
Yeah,
even
but
the
the
number
tiebreaker for them, I mean, as far as the number before elimination for them is what, two?
two,
I think
yeah.
two.
So
Yeah, that's a hard deal for
yeah,
Memphis.
it
That's a
is.
hard deal
It
for them.
is. So it looks like they're going to be number 1. Memphis is going to be number 2. We think Sacramento squarely number 3. 4 to 10. We have no idea, Gerald. We have no
I
idea.
would say Phoenix. I would give it to Phoenix at this point. I think there's just too much distance for the Lakers to cover to even if they win out to go ahead and expect them to do that. Like you said, Phoenix is playing, and now that they have to get everybody back together. Durant has to get back into playing shape. Still a little bit off coming back from the injury. So I think that right now you'd put Phoenix in the number 4 spot. The Clippers have been playing well. Give credit to Russell Westbrook, a player that we don't hate on a personal level, but we actually just could not stand him as part of our team. And the fact that he has found a new life in Clipperland, we're not gonna hear the end of it, Sean. But he just was a bad fit, and I'm happy that he's been able to find some level of success. Can he sustain it, or will the same mistakes that befell him in his 1 season plus stay with the Lakers, will that befall him at the wrong time for the Clippers? We'll wait and see, because we said it from the get go. As soon as the Clippers got him, it's just like, okay, may look good at first, but at some point in time, you may see the Russell Westbrook that we saw come out at the wrong time.
Yeah, Gerald. Wish him the best individually. I don't care about the team he's on. And Joe, don't start up with that again because nobody cares about them except you. Uh,
I'm not looking down on anyone. So
But yeah,
I'm
but
I'm standing up actually. If I could, I
anyway.
could look up at the ceiling if that's what you want.
But yeah, Gerald, you're right. I mean, we're 38 and 38. We can't look down on anybody
No,
because
we can't look at anybody in the wrong way. I mean, for all the
no.
people that are starting to think that, oh, the Lakers could be contenders and blah 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 blah. And I'm hearing all this now, and I'm
Yeah,
like, if a
Chris
team is
Vanek saying it. We're going to the NBA Finals
well,
now.
then I hear Windhorst on ESPN the other day saying that the Lakers could be coming out of the West, and I'm just like, you know, first off, is the supporting cast as good as all these Laker fans, including us, want them to be? I'm not so 100% sold on it. I'm certainly not 100% sold on the Lakers being uh, the supporting cast as good. I think that loss in Houston has me very trepidatious on the Lakers supporting cast if they are good enough to support LeBron and AD on a title run. That's the first thing I want to say. Are they good enough to go ahead and make some damage in the playoffs? As is, absolutely. But we know with always with the playoffs, it's about the right seeding, who are the matchups, and do the matchups favor the Lakers. That's one thing you also got to look at as
Yeah, 100% Gerald. And at this point, you're right. It looks more as like we're competing for uh, the 5 to 8 slot. Uh, I would hope at least that's what the goal is. They're not willing to play lackluster enough to play 2 playing games. I don't see it, even though I'm like you. I'm trepidatious, great word to use about these role players. I will say this: when you look at it on paper, this isn't the weakest supporting cast LeBron has ever had. That he's had
well. That was
to,
earlier this season.
yeah, yeah. It was the first like 48 games. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
When I
Uh,
said that, it was probably the worst 3 through 15 roster in the NBA.
Yeah, it was. I mean, looking back, you're 100% right, Gerald. We should give you your flowers for that because it's true. It was very very top heavy with your top 2 guys, and then it just diluted after that. It was the most
But
diluted roster in the NBA, 100%.
hey, man, can you do me a favor real quick and take me off camera? I just got to go pay for my oil change on my car. Just doing.
All right, and Gerald's left us. He's got to take care of some business, folks. You know what? This has been a fantastic Magic Man in the morning. I'm going to leave it right then and there. It's game day, and we need the Lakers to win tonight. So I'm hoping for a victory. Minnesota is going full bore tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All hands on deck for them. Anthony Edwards is playing. Kyle Anderson's playing. Cat's playing. I'm like Gerald said. I'm sure all their role players will find their second win, take their vitamins, drink their OJ, and be ready to go tonight. Because I think we're gonna get Minnesota's best effort, and they better be ready. And we'll move on from there because we're not discussing any games beyond what we're looking at. Nothing forward anymore because this team is 38 and 38 for a reason. And we're going to hope that they come out tonight with a victory. And with that, we'll say good morning and we'll see you tonight on playback and after the post game on Lakers Fast Break. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.